My fellow magicians, the dawn is breaking on the stage that holds our final destiny. And so, my fellow magicians, let's all go to hell in a fast car and keep it hot. And on today's little pit stop, we got the exact same stuff in the overview energy. So what I'm going to do is try to keep it as brief as possible, because the last 2 readings on the channel that have been posted are all about whatever this is. And I can't get into details about it because it's always like, oh, I can't tell you. So we're gonna go over the general energies. If there aren't any like concrete details in the tarot that I haven't flipped up yet, we're gonna try and see if I can't get something else to come out for y'all, because you know me, I do not like, if I can get out of it, I don't want to give the same exact message every single day. It's annoying. And I know this is like a positive message, but even the positive ones, I want it kind of off the table. At least we can be addressing other things. Or you don't want something to stay on the table. You don't want something to stay in the reading. You want it to get out of the reading, because that's when it manifests in real life. Like, you want it off. Or sometimes if you follow readers, right, a storyline will go away. And then it'll come back, but it'll come back slightly changed, because stuff has, like, it leaves the table to go do what it's going to do in real life. And then if it's not quite ready to manifest for you yet, if we have like changes and developments, that will come back on the table for a little while, and it'll do the same thing until it completely goes away and you're not going to get any manifestation from it, or it's going to hit you, right? Because either could happen. So what we have in the overview energies to start off with is Wheel of Fortune, distant horizons. This distant thing, don't worry about that. It's just like something that's going to carry you like weight. Like, this is kind of like the mega happy timeline. The mega happy timeline is unfolding, and it is unspooling out through the distant horizon. So it's something that's going to be here for a while, but it has been starting now. Like, this is like the first year where like you're really going to start getting into the more like concrete manifestations of the mega happy timeline going forward into the years to come, because this is like a decades long process. And remember, it's not automatic. It's something that, like, Das is being special. It's something that becomes more prevalent the more energy that we bring through, right? Like, we don't just sit here and like the mega happy timeline just happens, but currently it is happening. So going forward, the next few years, you're going to start to see more major, more concrete manifestations of the mega happy timeline. And remember, the mega happy timeline does not mean that there's not like crime or hardship. It doesn't mean that like all war is going to stop. It is just a situation where we're having way better economy, way more mental health across the board, way more people coming into both platonic and romantic relationships that are actually beneficial. So if you're looking at developments, you know, with like international politics within war and things like that, and you're like, well, that's really negative. Yes, there are in fact negative things on the mega happy timeline. No one person can stop those sorts of things that have been in motion for a very long time, right? It's just, we're talking about something like a tone. It's a tone for, you know, the world or particular nations that has been absent for a while. That's all. We're not solving all the world's problems. So with this mega happy timeline unfolding, what we have here is the main female in the 5 of Pentacles. So this is like this could be anything. This could just be like, this is essentially somebody on the dark timelines, perhaps. But it's like the 5 of Pentacles would be somebody wandering through the dark timelines, kind of like the yin energy. That's not an active agent on the dark timeline. So even if you're a man, right? If you're watching this, you are someone who would not have been active as much during the dark timelines. That doesn't mean you didn't do anything or go to work or whatever. It's just that while the dark timelines were going on, things would have been harder for you. Maybe you've been alone. Maybe you don't have all the resources that you need. Maybe you've been ill. And maybe you have been kind of wandering, trying to figure out what the heck to do because nothing seems to be working out, but you would not have been personally contributing or benefiting off of the dark timelines. That's why it's in yin energy. And yes, you could also be a woman or a femme, just saying. Don't want to exclude people here. It doesn't really matter, okay? Unless like I get a hard hit, that's a woman. And so what are we ending on? Sudden wealth and the Six of Swords. There is something coming in with this shift. We've been getting it as people having spiritual developments, magical developments. Sometimes it looks like another person, but whatever this positive shift is, it is going to bring in some form of material resources for whoever this is for. Suddenly, it's unexpected. That's going to allow you to progress to another phase of your life, maybe another location. Like, it's going to allow you to do what it is that you've been wanting to do. Okay, that is like the broad, that's what we've been getting, okay? So let's go ahead and see what is in our details. This is Horizons, Wheel of Fortune, and the Fool. It's just a positive new shift. Like, we're going into brand new energy. And what I had gotten on that 5 of coins that's in the second column was not all who wander are lost. And that is very much like the Fool. There's something else about the Fool, but I'm not sure what, oh, and your little dog too. Oh, okay, so Dorothy, over the rainbow, something, it's like we're going to a new, like a new world. New world, but like metaphorically, we're not like, I'm not actually talking, so because sometimes I'm literally talking about another dimension or something like that. And if you're someone who likes to operate with the, well, every second we're like shifting into a new dimension, sure, okay. But like, when I'm talking about a different dimension, usually I'm talking about like non-human beings and stuff like that. So it's not wrong to think about it that way, but I am metaphorically saying we're going to a new world. Not literally this time, okay? That's like, usually when I'm speaking literally, like you'll have a warning like way at the beginning of the read. Unless entities pop out in the read, because that's been happening. Main female, yes, the 8 of Swords back again. This is like the shift is happening. It's super positive and it's unexpected. Like, you don't see it, but we can't tell you anything about it either. Can't tell you anything about it. It's private, like, sorry. And it's just like, okay, well, get off the table then, because this is goofy. And then sudden wealth, 6 of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. So it's just like something's popping up. I will pull one more on this 8 of Swords, and then we're gonna see if we can't get anything else. Again, right? So like the Queen of Pentacles is back out again for another day, and the 3 of Coins. This could mean other people, but this is that it's like a gift. I'm giving you a gift. I'm giving you something. It's something material. It's something beneficial. It's going to help you with your foundation, or in fact, like you will be dealing with other people. And that's like, that's what we've been getting. That's what we've been getting. And so I'm going to clear the board. All right. And we are going to see, I'm going to ask anyway. We got it. We got big time shift. Okay. We've been getting this message. Is there anything else that I can tell the collective that would be benefiting them or that they need to know? Because we got this message loud and clear. Or at least more, like, we need more details or something practical that they can do in the moment, because that particular message has been coming out like with the yin energy. It's just going to happen at this point. If I don't get different energy this time, I'm going to talk to you about canon events, unskippable cutscenes, what preordained means, and kind of also what soul contracts are, like more healthfully. You don't have to talk about it as a soul contract, because I really, once people start talking about soul contracts, I hear soul contracts, twin flames come out of somebody's mouth, I'm out. Goodbye. And if you're wondering why, if you're saying, oh, Allison, but that's so judgmental, you know, and you like to be inclusive on this channel, I do. And if you feel that you are using twin flames and soul contracts to your own benefit, if you believe that you have had positive developments because of that, if it is working for your life, I'm not going to tell you to stop. The reason why I tend to not is because the second I hear those two things out of somebody's mouth and I've given whoever it is the benefit of the doubt, typically what they're going to be telling me and the advice that they have is very toxic. It is very, as we like to say on the tarot channels, it's very karmic. It's very karmic. The stories that they are telling themselves are keeping them imprisoned. And that is the exact opposite of what I am hoping to do, A, for myself, and B, hoping to demonstrate that to other people. This is a liberation channel. And that's another reason why I don't want the same message over and over. No, like, we're not getting stuck in ruts here, okay? Sometimes you need to hear the same thing over and over and over again. But like, I just don't, I'm not about that. I'm not about people getting stuck in a story, especially when it's a story about like some nasty stuff and about old stuff and about like being trapped forever in all the iterations and lifetimes and reincarnations with one person who's like only ever gonna harm you, who always seems to fail every test that is put before them. Why would I speak that into your life? You would, hearing that, and if you got mad about it, would have to make the choice to go and listen to someone speak that into existence in your life, and then you are making the choice to be in that loop, to be in that particular prison. And that's the thing that you would need to see for me. Why? Why are you choosing that? Why are you creating that? And you say, oh, but the reader is, no, you. Who here has the power to reach out and turn it off? I don't have that power at the moment. I have it sometimes when I'm listening to somebody. Who has the power to reach out and touch faith? Who has that power right now? So you can't tell me, oh, but a reader said, especially not online. Do you know how many readers there are? It is a choice. Ooh. I like that card. The thing is, I see like one like card that I like flip up. Well, actually there are two that are pretty decent that are flipped up right now. But then it's like, and I'll get like, I'll have like, oh, positive read, and then it's like 10 of swords, the tower, 3 of swords, and I'm just like, oh no. Why you gotta do this to me, energy? Okay, let's see what we have here up at the top. Ooh, that's nice. Oh no. See, I knew up above, it's not bad, but it's just like, well, what? It seems like someone's trying to fix something here. And then what's this? Ooh. Okay, well, this is slightly different. In the overview energies, what we're starting off with is star and gift. This kind of seems like the same thing now. The stars are correct for you to receive this gift, but it seems like we are kind of maybe moving on into something else. Let me look at this for a second. No, all I'm getting is that like, this could be the gift of healing, depending on what we have in this second row. It could be the gift of healing, but it's coming more across like, the gift is like your material conditions rearranging themselves because you are in a different position in the stars, your star. Someone's got them, a whole world of yes, okay? And then in this second column, what we have is bad health and the 2 of coins. This is somebody rearranging their circumstances, balancing something out. It could be an actual sickness depending on what I get, because this was the card that like flipped up. So we could be talking about another person potentially. It could just be someone balancing out their life. And then finally, in the last column, we have community and the 9 of Cups. So like some sort of positive, wonderful development within the community. So this could be for a lot of people. It's still kind of similar energy. And I'll see if it is so, if that's like a problem with me. It could be a problem with me. Or it could just be like, look, this is what's going on and it's the most major thing. Success underneath the star and the gift. So this is just about public recognition for something. It's about you or the viewer, whoever I'm talking to. It's like you do deserve applause for something. You do deserve a crown of laurels for something. Okay, and then underneath this bad health and the 2 of coins, we have the Lovers. I don't know if this is another person, or maybe you are someone who helps people sort out their lives. you are helping people come into union with themselves. Maybe you help people form better friendships, better relationships, make healthy decisions. It could be that. Maybe that's what you are being rewarded for, or you're coming into a phase of your life where you're going to be able to do this effectively. Help people balance things out, help them feel better. And then they're a community, 9 of Cups, and then like everybody's going to be doing better. The star and the sign underneath this is like extremely positive. It could be pouring out onto people. It's like everybody's happy. I don't know. This is just like, it's still so vague, and it is still very much similar as to what I've been talking about. This is just kind of describing to me someone like, this is giving very much like Jesus riding in on like a donkey or whatever. It's like, it's giving very much, and that's more like a symbol for the shift that we're experiencing and we're about to experience, like writ large, like, right? That's not one person who I'm talking about, but it's sort of like something's riding in that is going to like facilitate all of this. And it could be that you are an instrument of that you are a vessel of the mega happy timeline, or however you want to put that, or it is just talking about forces at work, like larger forces. I'm talking about like non-corporeal stuff moving to accomplish this as well. So I will get some specifics on this to see if I can get anything, because it's still, it's real. And here's the thing, it's mega happy, it's mega positive. So I'm not really seeing that we're getting any, it's not a bad read to give, but it's just like, it's kind of impractical. You know me, I like giving like tangible stuff. And then I never know how to title this stuff without like, it's like I want an intriguing-ish title without it being like clickbait. And like when I'm talking about something kind of nebulous, it's just like, whoa, that's way too much. Queen of Wands popped out. The World popped out. 3 of Cups. Okay, so it's just like, honestly, the helping people thing is kind of being validated in the specifics, but we have Knight of Wands, High Priestess, 3 of Cups. That can be someone coming in to spiritually, energetically, interiorly, right? So that's like emotional support, psychological support, or spiritual support. It could be a spiritual counselor, spiritual leader, someone riding in to assist the community, the 3 of Cups. That could also be like something unseen, like the knights and the pages have been kind of showing up as like entities, something that you wouldn't see, like a positive entity, a positive spirit, a positive being coming through to assist the community. Could be multiple of them, multiple positive celebratory beings coming through. All right, now we're looking at bad health, the 2 of Coins, and the Lovers. Oh, everything all at once. This is, we've got the Ace of Swords, the Devil, and the Knight of Cups. This is like that Jesus card that we get that says like, when the Spirit of Truth comes, it will lead you into all of the truth. Like this is something that's going to, this is behaving like the Jack, but this is not the Jack. This is like, I'm here to tell you the truth about yourself in a gentle way. Ace of Swords, the Devil, Knight of Cups. That's like, I need to show you the bad health. That's the bad health, the Devil. I need to tell you about the bad health so we can resolve the bad health, Knight of Cups, and bring you into a lover's sun star situation. Because when you're in bad health, and when it's something like making poor choices, not having good, not having a good relationship with like substances or things like and then that could be anything, because processed addictions also exist. We're usually talking about substances for like the most extreme and detrimental, but people can have issues with just about anything. It's anything that you are doing or indulging in that is having a negative impact on your life and the people's lives around you, but that you still persist in doing for whatever reason, right? That's how we're going to talk about that. unless I receive a very specific message. What is this Devil? But it's like you can't remember to actually change reality. The Queen of Pentacles could be selfishness or greed. Selfishness or greed. Nine of Wands, yeah, it's something about like walling yourself off. It doesn't necessarily have to be selfishness or greed, but the Queen of Pentacles is a stationary, that's yin, so it's not doing anything. I am in a comfort zone, so that's also something that's going on here. The Devil, Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Wands is like, I am barricaded in a comfort zone. And remember, some of this like sudden wealth and whatever that we've been getting that you're going to be receiving is about bringing you out of a comfort zone. So whatever that's so cool. So like whatever the positive thing is and whatever it's doing tangibly, even though it's a very positive development for you, you will have to confront something within yourself still. That is a bit of the devil that is bringing you or will bring you bad health if you stay in it, to come out of that. So it's a very organic process, but it's looking like I'm so disjointed right now. To truly change reality, you have to first see reality, see the truth of your current situation. You have to see it and you can't deny it. You have to see it, accept it, understand it, and then move through it. A lot of manifestation techniques, kind of through no real fault of the people who are talking about them or implementing them, especially the Delulu techniques. Okay, Delulu is a Solulu. That's been going away, thank God. Most manifestation techniques are designed to get you, or people are implementing them incorrectly to escape reality. And it's not that you cannot manifest that way, but what happens when you manifest to escape reality, the only thing that you're doing is rearranging the material world a little bit. So you very well could manifest more money, manifest a dream job, implement a change to your physical form. That is not changing reality. It's not, because what you will find is that you will be in the same situation, just in a slightly different environment. So it's like, okay, I was in these toxic dynamics in like complete poverty. Now I'm in the same toxic dynamics in in a mansion, let's say, at the extreme, right? But it's the same picture. You have, in fact, rearranged the deck chairs, but the Titanic is still going down. You are painting the roses red. You have left the bodies, but moved the headstones. So it still stinks, okay? That's what manifesting to escape reality looks like and what it does. So typically when you manifest to escape reality, you have a short-term like high of getting into the new relationship, like shifting your weight up or down, more muscles, like different clothes, like different job, different people. But then slowly but surely, reality creeps its way back in because you have not, in fact, dealt with the actual issue. So, can you manifest to escape reality? You can manifest, but you haven't actually changed things. The way I just described at the beginning about accepting and moving through reality, that's the way you actually change reality. Until then, no, you're not changing anything except dust. You are shifting the illusion, but the reality is still the same. And so let us go ahead and pull on this final column. A gift from God, it looks like. Yes, Six of Wands, Six of Coins, the Hierophant. Success and a material gift from the Hierophant, that would be looking like God or Providence, or something that is simply within the order to be given to you. There is enough momentum behind it. So I guess we can talk about that a little bit. What is a canon event? An unskippable cutscene, something that's preordained. It's not violating free will, because what's going on in your day-to-day life, right, is every single thing that you do, every single choice that you make, is developing a particular momentum behind it. And so when you are consciously manifesting, the only thing that you're doing there is what you're attempting to create in your life, what you're attempting to manifest. You are trying to align all of your choices. We can say all, but like nobody really is doing all, okay? Nobody's truly, for the most part, in that situation. The preponderance or predominant amount of your choices, actions, thoughts, doings, thinkings, all of it is going to be aligned with the thing that you are looking to create. So day to day, if you are looking to create more money, what you are attempting to do is align your thoughts, your actions, and everything else with the creation of making more money. Or like the 80-20 rule, because you're gonna have to do things like to maintain your current manifestations, right? Unless you just wanna crash and burn. So that's all manifestation truly is. Any sort of technique that you're using is just to get you into that sort of alignment, to where your day-to-day manifestations are in line with your goal. Which really, of course, there is no goal, but whatever. That's what it is. So someone who is consciously manifesting is making conscious actions to direct the accumulation of the momentum at that thing that you are looking to create. And then you're going to hit a point, right? Because as you're doing that, what you're doing to create change is you are going to be working through resistance. Resistance is normal. Resistance is to be expected for the most part. When you are creating any sort of change in your life, you will be working against the current flow of your life. So in fact, no, you are not just going with the flow, okay? You're going against the flow, at least for a little while. And depending on the magnitude of the change, it's going to be a lot of resistance. There's going to be a lot trying to keep you in the place that you are, because it's just the way it works. You already have a momentum built up. You have to work against that momentum to reverse the polarities, okay? So while you are making those aligned actions, behaviors, and thoughts, you are going to be working against resistance. But then what is going to end up happening is that you hit a point. You hit a point where you have built up enough momentum behind you that you are no longer working against anything. You have reversed the polarities, and therefore the momentum is now behind you, pushing you forward. So it is not as hard to do what you were doing in the first place. That's when manifestation becomes effortless, and when you are going with the flow, when the flow is aligned with you, or when you have aligned the flow to suit you and what you're trying to do. So now, you have the momentum at your back, right? There comes a point where there is so much momentum that you cannot, in fact, fail. You can't do it. And so that is when it kind of doesn't matter what you do anymore. You can just do what you're doing, and it's going to feel like you're doing nothing, even if you are taking action in your life. And that sort of, once you hit that point, that is what a canon event, an unskippable cutscene, or a preordained event is. And in fact, that is what you can call a soul contract. Because as you are doing, what is it? A ritual. As you are doing these rituals, and it doesn't look like a magic circle or anything else, it just looks like you living your life. As you are doing all of that day to day, you are forging a soul contract. By my action, by my word, by my deed, by my thought, I will do this thing. And then God is sitting up there going, oh yeah, let's be right. I'm writing this down. I'm writing down the terms of the contract. Let's see if you abide by them, and we'll keep going. And we'll keep going and going. Let's see you sign your name on it. Have you that beginning process is you and the forces forging a soul contract. Once you hit the place where the momentum is behind you, the contract has been forged and signed and agreed to, and now everything's behind you. That's what that is. And also, you are not the only one doing that, right? Every single person is manifesting in some way in that capacity. And then there are the people who are consciously manifesting. doing what I've just described in the most aware way possible. Those people, for some of them, so there's like the widest pool is the unconscious people who are nonetheless manifesting, right? And then you kind of get narrower and narrower pools of people who are doing things way more consciously. And then the pool gets even smaller when the conscious manifestations align. When the thing that you are manifesting is the thing that another person's manifesting. And in fact, you two coming together, or three or four, wherever two or three are gathered in my name, there I am in the midst of them, that is a soul contract. But it's not something that like, oh, prior to you, and you did this and you did that. We can get into past reincarnations with that, potentially. But like, I could just as easily say that once you cross the river Styx, all soul contracts that you forged in past incarnations are null and void. For that, like, you can just say that, like, why, like, I don't understand why people just don't go, oh, boo, cancel, bitch, it's all done, like, I'm not doing that shit, like, you can't tie me to some shit like that, okay? So, it depends, like, but, you know, I am the greatest magician of the age, and perhaps the greatest magician of all time, and we can just do those things, all right? We don't live in, like, victimization of the stars, okay? Why? Because we're all stars, like, what are you talking about? Okay, and stars, what is it, valence electrons or whatever, can in fact change their orbit. So, like, why? Like, okay, it's not that it doesn't automatically happen, but you can in fact do that, okay? There's a process for doing that. So, and that's what we're about over here. So, a canon event is that when something has enough momentum built up behind it that it's just going to happen. And then when you have canon events with multiple people, a soul contract forged with multiple people, y'all are all on, because everything's pre-recorded, y'all are all kind of, your energies are colliding before your physical bodies collide. And so y'all have to agree in the energy to the canon event before y'all all come together in the canon event. And even then, the only thing that you've agreed to is the meeting. What's going to happen there has not been set in stone. So once you all start interacting, that's going to create new things, new decisions, new ideas. And the soul contract, like the laws of the universe, are not a static thing. It is something that is dynamic, organic, and ever-changing, okay? And until you hit a certain amount of momentum again, it is not concrete. It's something that changes all the time. And so that is just to remind you that, like, you have power, and it's just like, oh, there's soul contracts, and there's no choice. In fact, yes, there is, at least for me. I know for me there is. I know there are certain things that it's harder for me to do, but it's not impossible, okay? And so that's why I just get very, like, people like, the spiritual laws are immutable and all of this stuff, and you can't change it. And yes, you can. Yes, you can. It is not so easy to do that, but it is in fact doable, okay? So that's, like, we've explained some stuff. We're gonna go ahead and get to the final advice outcome, because, like, I'm just not getting, we're all on positive stuff, okay? But it's just like, I can't really tell you what it's truly gonna be for you in the specific, because it's so big, right? And probably we're gonna have to wait till some of that, like, rolls through before I can start talking to you about, like, specific narratives. All right, so this is final advice outcome, but I'm gonna couch it in, like, what's the most important thing that the collective needs to know about this? And I'm sorry, y'all, like, I always kind of feel, like, bad about giving, like, the same messages, but, like, I tried twice, and whoop, I should have checked. I don't think it's a problem with, well, it's a positive message, so it's not really a problem with me. It's just that it's a big deal. And when something's big like that, it's in the way energetically of smaller stuff that doesn't carry the same, something's just being presented to you. I keep getting this Four of Cups. I'm pretty sure that was the Death card. It's just like, expect major change. It's a positive thing, but it might rattle you, and it's inevitable. Death is inevitable if that was the Death card. and it's coming quick. Justice. Yay for us. Okay. For y'all, though I'm going to include me on this because I've been on the Mega Happy timeline. I'm trying to get all y'all, like, probably all y'all been on the Mega Happy timeline too, and it's like, oh, finally. Temperance. Death. There it is. Good. See, the forces. We're talking about the forces. There's like nothing I can tell you directly because it's essentially out of your hands. There's nothing you can do. It's just like, this is happening. And we saw it was justice under the, justice is under the deck. Temperance and justice are linked. It's just, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, and I'm feeling good. Like that's the message. Six of Swords. So like, it's just like, we're going forward. We're going forward relatively quickly. It's like, this is about holy momentum, divine momentum, stuff in the 5D behind you, pushing you forward quickly. I'll pull one more on this Knight of Swords. So what I would say about that, right, is if you feel like you're like, oh, but no, I don't feel like fully aligned with the Mega Happy timeline. Like I'm still working on things. Page of Cups, positive, like it's positive motion forward, the world. Like there's something that is like, the dark timelines are just completely closing out, okay? So it's just like, ooh, my Lord. Here's the thing. Because there's usually like phases of people, right? There are people that are going to be closest to this who are going to be experiencing like crazy wild stuff from the Mega Happy timeline the soonest, like very, very positive, like big manifestations positively, relatively quickly, soon. And then there are a contingency of people who are still in line with the Mega Happy timeline, but it's like they're a little bit behind. And then there are people on the back end who have maybe like just started their work to get off of the dark timelines, getting rid of behaviors, manifestations, stuff like that. For those of y'all who feel like y'all are like back here, it's okay. The way you are going to be experiencing that is that you are not going to have to apply as much effort within whatever it is that you need to do to align with the people at the front. It's sort of like you're being shucked up. Like the people up here, like, yeah, it's like great to be like up here, right? Experiencing the things first, but it's okay for the people who are more like back here, because what's going to happen is the people who are up here and all of this stuff, it's like going to boost you. It's going to boost you. So it's a lot easier for you to make the positive changes within your life. Like things are just going to like start working out. So you are going to receive tangible benefits from the work that people up here have already been doing throughout the dark timelines, okay? So if you're feeling like concerned about that, you don't have to be. You are also getting a benefit. It's just like, it's a benefit of getting you like completely, are you out of the woods yet? Are you out of the woods yet? Are you out of the woods? Okay? It's like that, all right? So that is the most important thing that the collective needs to know. So my fellow magicians, let us all reach out and touch faith and get some personal Jesus on this. For Jesuses today. Okay, Jesus says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. One cycle closes, a new one begins. And again, this is about very, very large forces at work. Jesus also says, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Manifestation is truly, true manifestation is a heart-based skill. It is not a mental skill. You perceive the truth with your mind, but it resides in the heart. If you have not explored the contents of your heart, you cannot truly change your reality. That's where the manifestation is actually manifesting from. You may be thinking one thing, but what is actually going to manifest is what is in here. So if you don't know what's in here, you actually don't know what you're manifesting. Okay? So where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And that is when manifestation is effortless. You're not thinking about it anymore. It is when you have the fulfilled, loving heart. For that, I'm not saying you don't experience like sadness or whatever. But the thing is, when you are operating from a place of fulfillment, all of your manifestations, just your house, everything, like things that you are doing day to day, every single last thing is created from fulfillment. So all it can do is reinforce your wholeness. all it can do is reinforce the fulfillment. That's the energetic feedback loop that you want to get into. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Everything in this world is a manifestation, a crystallization of your very being, which is held predominantly in the heart. So what you are seeing day to day is a manifestation of the contents of your heart, perceived by your mind, okay? Treasure, material, okay? Jesus also says, it is more blessed to give than to receive. Remember, there is something about the material aspect of this because you're being granted a gift, a material gift. Part of that is to help other people. It's not that it's staying in that comfort zone. That was that greed and avarice thing with the devil. It's meant to show you, like, if that pops up, if when you receive whatever these resources are, this money, and you get like, oh, well, I could just like enrich myself. Like, I don't really need to give any of this up. Like, if I invest this, I could have like a mega yacht. It's just like, that is the devil that is going to need to be confronted, whatever that is. And that's going to look slightly different for other people. Because I have noticed this with people who are coming out of extreme poverty situations because of their fear of returning to poverty. They will in fact like accumulate millions of dollars, but they will still be like living in a shack. Asmongold is the perfect example of this. That man is in spiritual poverty. That man has not separated himself from whatever was going on in his childhood to reinforce the conditions that he has now, even with all the money that he has. Asmongold, there's your internet example. There's your internet example of what that looks like. And it looks a lot of different ways. It looks like someone holding on to a lot of money and keeping their children in poverty when they have more than enough to get them a good education, a comfortable home, but they won't spend a cent of it because they are afraid. They are afraid of the money leaving again and themselves experiencing poverty. So they will have everyone around them in destitution to protect themselves. That is the devil. And that will need to be confronted. Jesus finally says, nothing shall by any means hurt you. So remember, if this is a more significant shift, if this is a more material change on a grand magnitude, it's not here to hurt you. It's a positive thing. You're going to be okay. And likely, whatever trials that you have to go through with the devil, that is all going to work out as well. Let us close out, as we mostly always do, officially, with the words of the highest authority. That highest authority, of course, being Bob, our Father who art in heaven. We close with the word of Bob that is good all the time. Someone did cast up there through the Miradasa. Heck 'em up. Get him. The thing is, that is typically where beings tend to hang out as well when they're moving through the house. There's a pathway. There's a particular energetic pathway or a structure that goes through the house that the beings tend to follow. It's like a thoroughfare. It's very interesting. And one of the places that they tend to come through is the kitchen for some reason. All right, Bob says, every day is a good day when you paint. Just carry on with whatever it is that you're doing, right? Whatever you've been doing has built up enough momentum that you will be experiencing whatever this is. Bob also says, isn't that fantastic? I knew you could do it. Canon event. Unskippable cutscene, preordained crap. Bob also says, let's put a few little highlights in here just to make them little rascals just sparkle in the sun. So whatever is coming in for you, it's kind of like to highlight you, that star, right? It's to boost you up. It's to make something known and recognizable. Bob finally says, go out on a limb. That's where the fruit is. Like I said, what you are going to be asked to do, like the more practical thing when all of this unfolds, is to leave. your comfort zone. So, my fellow magicians, this is reality, and I am your GM, your game master for this, the game of life. But it is we who are the greatest magicians of the age and perhaps the greatest magicians of all time. And together, you and I will perform the greatest magic trick of all time. We will reverse the polarities of the world, make America great for once, fly this boat to the moon somehow, shift the world onto the mega happy timeline, perhaps leaving it a much better place than it ever has been before. Because, my fellow magicians, nothing stays. In 50 years or so, it's going to change, But oh, it's heaven nowadays.